Welcome to Line Trading, going over Friday's SPY recap and live analysis in Discord before going over what to be watching for Monday. So on Friday, as most of us know, you may have even been affected by it, but CrowdStrike had a little bit of an incident, and that maybe was some fear in the market, maybe some weakness. But going into Monday now, maybe expect this to get bought up along with this 20-day moving average trap right here. But we'll explain that later in the video. I'm going to go over Friday now. So on Friday, I posted in the pre-market brief for Discord members to continue watching for this inverse cup and handle that we were forming to the downside. We had already rejected this 5-day moving average, and we were now testing this 20. So we were either looking for this bounce to come right here in the morning, right? We regain and never actually lose this 20 intraday, but we formed a rejection off of it, as you can see right here with this head and shoulder. Like I'm explaining in the pre-market, we did start the day gap down a bit, but we had this retracement right here with this green algorithm, and you could have taken it to the downside right here within this orange selling channel. Now, with that orange selling algorithm I was explaining throughout the day, you cannot be taking calls until we are at least out of the orange selling continuation right here. There's zero reason to be doing so. We are still within this, and we are seeing this green and white, right? Controlled buying, as well as the tapering with the head and shoulders on the way down right here. So there's no reason to be taking it within that selling continuation unless we break out of orange. And then even then, I explained I would not want to be taking calls until we were at least above the 20-day moving average, right? So that's for Monday. But if we were like this on Friday and we regained that 20-day moving average, maybe we had that gap down, we recover, and the trap started on Friday, but instead we had more downside. And that's why I'm saying maybe that CrowdStrike is just some fear, and Monday we have a very nice rally. It's just something to pay attention to, right? I don't know what the market's going to do. We're not here to predict it. It's just about reacting to it and finding the profits. Another thing I will touch on later as well is if you feel like you missed this downside move right here, do not worry. You do not need to force anything down here, because what we still need to have happen if we want a sustained downtrend is this 5-day moving average to cross below this 20 right here, right? And then we want to see a handle retest both of those and give us a clear rejection where we find support at the 20-day moving average once again, right? And we regain both of these when they start basing like this with a shoulder, right? And we head back up. We'll talk about this more on the daily here, but I'm going to go over the 1-minute chart now and the trades. So to start the morning here, we had this inverse head and shoulder right here off of the 20-day moving average. I personally did not take this trade because I was not looking for any upside today. I was looking for this to eventually become a trap, and that is exactly what happened. You see, we have this head and shoulder starting to form right here, as well as inverse cup and handle that I explained at this 20-day moving average. Look for it to fall below, right? Get that retest right here that you can see, and from there, you have a trade to the downside. Now, after this move to the downside right here, off of this 20-day moving average, I explained that if we did want to regain it, right, and form that trap I was explaining, we could do it right here, right? Form that inverse head and shoulder. Maybe we form a cup right here. We get a handle, inverse head and shoulder like that, and we move higher. But instead, what we see, and I'm explaining, we are getting this stronger microstructure off of the 20-day moving average right here, being this head and shoulder, as well as this inverse cup and handle within this green algorithm. And within that handle is a perfect head and shoulder trade to the downside. Now, after this move down right here off of this inverse cup and handle, we see it bounce once again, and maybe it's going to form that trap, right? I explained that we need to first see it regain this 20-day moving average right here, and then from here, we need to head back up and grab the liquidity off of this shoulder if we get back above the 20-day moving average right here, right? That is very possible and could maybe see some sort of squeeze situation there. But once again, we form this inverse cup and handle you see right here, as well as this head and shoulder, right? Another inverse cup and handle, and you see this handle right here starting to form, giving us that breakdown once again. Like I'm explaining here, we are still within this orange and we see this green once again. So you cannot be calling for the reversal here. If there is a reversal, right, like I drew, you will see it. It will regain this 20-day moving average, and you can see something like that happen. So here towards the end of the day, we started to see this yellow tapering algorithm right here. If we look on the 1 minute, you see the tapering right here, right? We have this stronger selling, right? We have the green within it right here, and we have the white bringing us down like this. But towards the end of the day, we are seeing that tapering. If it does want to maybe head back up, right, into Monday, back above this 20-day moving average right here, like I'm explaining, if we can regain that. Now we ran out of time Friday, so we did not get to see that happen. There was also one last trade setup that I took towards the end of the day right here with this head and shoulder, as well as this inverse cup and handle you see right there. Once again, larger inverse cup, but we never got this handle towards the end of the day right here for this flush. We never got that, and I was going to take that as well, but I called it a day after taking a lot of great trades. No need to force anything at the end, and you could even have called your profits a lot earlier and enjoyed the rest of your Friday. Great trades in the morning. So now going over what to be watching next week. On Thursday and Friday, we do have some news with GDP and PCE, so just keep that in mind. But here on Monday, we are looking for this possible inverse head and shoulder off of the 20-day moving average right here, and even smaller than that, right? We can see this possible cup starting to form right here, and once again, another cup, and then we can fill this cup and ultimately back to the 5-day moving average if we were to bounce back like that, right? We want to see this handle and we break out of this 5-day moving average right there after regaining this 20. Now come Monday, if we do not regain the 20-day moving average once again, continue looking for this handle right here. Maybe we form a head and shoulder off of it, maybe an inverse cup, right? And we continue lower to the downside and complete this inverse cup at this level down here. Like I was mentioning earlier, do not feel like you missed out on the way down here, because even if we do go to this level right here, I'll be looking for a bounce with this handle to test this 5 and 20-day moving average when they catch back up and form that shoulder, possibly with this rejection like that, to break down below this level right here, grabbing all the liquidity, because you can see if we break that level, there is this gap right here. So on Monday, just pay attention to the things that we went over and use these two moving averages right here to guide you. But now I'm going to be going over the daily chart and the longer trend here. So here on the daily chart, we are below this 5-day moving average right here. We formed this head and shoulder. And now, like I'm saying, if we want that longer sustained downtrend, this 5-day needs to cross below the 20 here, and then from there we get that rejection. The bottom Bollinger is going to be the target. So like we see here, you have this upper Bollinger test. We then get below this 5-day moving average right here. The 5 crosses below the 20, and you see we retest this bottom Bollinger. Now if we want more downtrend from there, like we do on the way up, testing the 25 upper Bollinger, as we head up. We can do the same thing to the downside, retesting the 5-day bottom Bollinger, 5-day bottom Bollinger, 5-day bottom Bollinger, and then from there, to regain the bull trend, we must have the 5 cross back below the 20, and we must form support once again off of those two moving averages, and from there, you get this upper Bollinger test, upper Bollinger, 5-day, upper Bollinger, 5-day, and from there you need that 20 again, or this bottom Bollinger, and the trend repeats. Now what we also see here on the daily is this larger head and shoulder, as well as this inverse cup, right? So once we close that inverse cup right here, maybe we get that handle, right? And from there, let's see if we can get something like that, trying to fill this larger inverse cup that you can see right there. And we also have all of this liquidity right here if we are forming some sort of a larger topping structure on the daily. So just a few words before wrapping up the video. It should be an action-packed week with some traps set and good opportunities to make some really good trades. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see members in the morning.